Grand rising, or good day for whichever time of the hour this video is reaching you. I am Yamaya Faye with Create Your Own Identity. Now, first and foremost, I must tell you, this is absolutely beautiful. Can you see the sky behind me? Oh my goodness, it's absolutely beautiful. And the water is so tranquilo. I'm a water sign, a Pisces. My name is Yamaya. Honey, I absolutely enjoy all of this. It's absolutely beautiful. Well, while I was out meditating and doing a little bit of writing, I started to actually reflect over a couple things that have been coming up over the last few days. And I wanted to express that with you just in case you're going through it as well. It's all about contracts, and I'm not talking about the contracts that we sign with a pen and paper, even though those are quite valuable things as well, because you end up binding yourself to a certain agreement. The contracts I'm speaking of is the spiritual contracts that you make with the self. You make with the self by your verbal commitment, your heart's intent, and your application. You also make those contracts with outside forces. We would call them entities or deities. It's still a life force. And sometimes we end up making those very contracts out of self-preservation, protection, a sense of security. Because when we make them, we literally could just have gotten finished fighting with somebody, or we just could have had a really blitzful event happen and we want to experience that again. The contracts all must be acknowledged once you bind them within the heart and within the mind, and you've spoken them and articulated them off of your mouth. You must enter and understand that when it's time to release those contracts. So if you find that you're having thoughts of things that happened so far back in time, but then it seems present to the day, these are the very ones that it's time for you to say, I release you, for you serviced me then, and now it's about my expansion. Okay, so you want to really take a look at them, and some of them may not be good. I'm just being just straight up and honest. I remember reflecting on one that I made a contract with, like, I will never do this shit ever again, and I would never trust this person ever again. You know, like really heartfelt contracts that I realized that I had to release myself from, because I not only bonded myself to something that actually has stopped, literally stopped my process or my flow, but it's blocked me as well. So when you make a contract, darling, a self-contract, with your heart's intent, your mind's action, and your focus and direction, you must enter and understand when it's time to release it and let it go. So from out of pain, we make these contracts, and most of the time we make them with outside forces and energies that would not service our highest good in the current state that we're in at this moment. So take your time, as I'm doing as well. Do it out in nature. Release those things. Look at them, and they may not feel, trust me, they may not feel that well, but if you identify them, allow yourself to recognize, yeah, you made that contract. You said it. You said you weren't going to do that anymore. You said if that person even thought about coming next to you, you were going to do something to them. All of those contracts, okay? All of them. Make sure that you release them and allow them to flow. And all of those blitzful contracts, you know, the ones that, okay, you won your first pageant. For me, it was, okay, I won my first pageant after going through so much hell. I finally won a pageant. Oh my gosh, I finally landed a contract, a deal to model African fashions. Finally, somebody appreciated. Oh my God, I'm going to stay blitzful in this. This is the moment I'm always going to remember. I'm going to do something for other young women, because I know how hard it is to be out in the fashion and industry and not have support. So I'm going to teach these ladies this. these particular contracts are also ones that will want to be serviced because you made a binding agreement. So I'm not just preaching to the choir, it's also something I'm applying to the self. Remember, we don't just make contracts with pen and paper, we also make contracts with the divine self, within our heart center, our attentions and our focus, as well as our actions. And we also do them with outside forces, entities and deities, things that may not necessarily service you in this particular time of your expansion. Remember to create your own identity, and I'll stand with you. But focus and release what doesn't service you. Now, go outside and get some of the nature. I'm gonna finish. Ciao for now.